This is the plaintiff, Thomas Schwenke. He says he owns an auction house, and the defendant placed a bid on an oriental rug from the 40s or 50s. After the guy picked up the rug, he noticed the check he was given wasn't signed. When he called the defendant, the first thing out of his mouth was, "I don't want the rug anymore." The double-crosser is now claiming the rug he got wasn't the one he bid on at the auction. Well, it most definitely is, and he's going to prove it here and now. He's suing for $585, the purchase price of the rug. This is the defendant, Ruzba Akunzada. He says when he picked up the rug, it was wrapped in brown paper. When he got it home and opened it, he realized it wasn't the one he bought. It had rips and tears on it. In fact, it wasn't even Persian. It was Turkish. He's accused of sweeping it under the rug.
All parties, please raise your right hand.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket, the plaintiff owns an auction house, says the defendant bid on an oriental rug and backed out. But the defendant says the plaintiff pulled a switcheroo. It's the case of lawsuit on the Oriental Express.
Thank you, Douglas. Okay, Woodbury Auction, represented here by Thomas Schwenke.
Schwenke, yes, Your Honor.
Okay. You are suing Ruzbe Akunzadeh? All right. And Amir Carpets, you are the owner of Amir Carpets?
Yes.
All right. For $585, the purchase price of a rug that he bought from you, and according to you, he didn't sign the check, so you weren't able to actually deposit the check. Whoops.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. What happened?
What happened is, first of all, we're in the auction business. We sell on commission. We don't own the goods. Okay. We had an auction in May of 2011, which was a real-time auction and an online auction. This rug was in an online auction at the end of May. It was available to be seen and inspected before the auction.
When was the live auction going to be?
The live auction commenced on May 21st.
So when did he buy this in an online?
He bought this carpet May 31st.
Okay, so it didn't sell at the live auction.
That's correct.
All
That's
right,
correct.
and then you kept the items online for
That's correct.
auction bids.
Yes, Your Honor.
And he bid.
Correct.
Okay.
He registered, left us a message. I'm interested in buying handmade carpets.
I know he brought the rug to court. We know
Yeah.
he got it. But
Right.
So tell me about the circumstances where you folks accept a check that's not signed. Is that what happened?
What happened is he came to pick up the rug. He was late when he came to get the rug. He gave my administrative assistant a check. Apparently, she didn't look at it.
Ooh, heads
He
must have
took the
rolled
rug.
there.
Check was not signed. We discovered it the next day. My assistant asked me what to do. I said, please give him
Who
a call.
discovered it?
My assistant.
The same person who took the check?
That's correct. That's
Okay.
right.
Did she get fired?
And
Did she get fired?
when she went to put
Did she get fired?
No, she didn't.
Okay.
No.
Go ahead.
And she's still with me, but her mother's ill and she couldn't come today.
Okay.
So I said, well, give him a call, which she did. He said, she asked him to send another one. He told her that he would.
Do you have an affidavit from her?
I do.
Can I see it?
Well, it's not sworn.
Oh, why wouldn't you bring her? I mean, I heard what you said, but I mean,
That's not the issue.
well, no, I'll decide
I'm
what
sorry.
the issue is.
I understand,
May
Your
I
Honor.
please see whatever you do have that's not sworn and not her?
This is the registration.
Why wasn't the check signed, sir?
At the time that when I arrived there, they were rushing me too much that you are late, you are late. But I saw
Were
that.
you late?
Yeah, it was, it was 1.5 hour drive for me. I asked direction many times.
So how
and
late were you?
I was just maybe a couple of minutes. I don't know.
A couple of minutes? Okay, and according to your assistant, he's how late? Oh, it's not even signed, let alone sworn. It's just a paragraph. The next day, Tom showed me the unsigned check, and I called him till she says that you are the one who discovered it. Let him know the check was unsigned. He said he would send us a new check by mail, and that you were an hour and a half late. Not a few minutes, an hour and a half.
No, they closed at, 5 or 6 o'clock. I was in that town, but
All right, so you get there, and what happened?
they just had the car all wrapped up and just put it in my trunk, and
I'm sorry, are you trying to explain why you gave them a check without inspecting the merchandise? Is that what you're
yes,
trying to
because
say?
they were saying that it was late and it was carpet was all wrapped up, and whatever I saw that the
So what?
online,
So why wouldn't you just unwrap it?
first of all, it was too big. I couldn't do it myself.
How long did
but
it take to unwrap it in my courtroom?
Few
7
seconds, yeah.
minutes? Okay, so why couldn't it be unwrapped there?
Because it was wrapped with the plastic things and
Because it was
very,
tidy and
No,
convenient to
kind of.
just move it on down the road, doggy. That's all. It's because it was just like, oh, everybody's lazy. And then all of a sudden, look at you now. You know? You got time for all this now? Nobody had 7 minutes then.
But even though
All right, so-
they didn't tell me about that, all these damages that this carpet has.
Oh, you might have seen it if you'd unrolled the rug.
Right, but
Okay, can I see the online auction have pictures? I mean, you bought the rug.
Right, right.
Okay, from the pictures that were online, right?
That's correct.
And so then you bring that rug back to your place. And what is your place?
It's a place that I buy myself for myself carpet and I sell it for for my home.
And you
I don't
sell
have
it
any
from
store or anything. Yes,
Okay.
but if you look at the bag, you can see all the damages and all the burlap.
I mean, in the
patches.
picture, I can see that there's some. What is this, by the way?
It's I don't really know. That's not my job. We
Okay.
sell these
Well, what was
things.
it advertised as?
The defendant is the expert.
What was
When
it
you arrive
advertised?
to pick up the carpet-
Not much of one if you just took it rolled up and without
No,
looking
I
at
beg
it.
Your Honor.
Okay, large room size oriental carpet, blue field, from a Virginia collector. That's it? That's all it was advertised
That's
as? There wasn't anything more?
No.
Okay, and how is it not what that says?
If you can fold it up, you can see all the patches on the carpet that I didn't see.
Patches on the, I'm not lifting this, but patches on the bottom of the carpet?
Yes, yes, if you are,
You're referring to this?
That's correct.
Okay.
I mean, all the even at the eBay or other things, other auctioneer, they disclose all the problem that the merchandise has.
Can you flip just if you flip this part out? I just want to see how it looks on the other end, the receiving end of such a thing. Is that here? That's the first patch. Yeah. I mean, there's. Yeah, you could. I'm looking at the picture and I can tell that there is some fading in a line right here. That is sort of separate and distinct from the kind of stuff I'm looking at, which is patched and holes. What say you to that? Do you feel that when you advertise something that you'd need to say that it's patched and that it has actual
Your Honor,
holes?
with all due respect,
Yeah, that usually, you know what we find as
I'm
judges when people
delighted
start a
that the-
sentence with the phrase "with all due respect," that we're about to get disrespected. That's.
okay.
But I want you to come over here, though, because I do want you to see this.
First, I'd like to read
First,
up.
I'd like you to come over here, please, if you don't mind. I just want you to see what I'm talking about rather than just hear what I'm talking about. You see that?
Yes, Your Honor.
I mean, the question in a breach of contract case, because essentially what this man is saying is that it's a breach of contract because you advertise a rug and you don't mention, let me just get you up there a second. Come on, and then you, of course, can see these, that it's been patched up where those holes are, right? And he feels that you folks should have to disclose if you're selling something that's been repaired, has a hole, and whatever else, that it's a little less than forthright if you don't. And that
Exactly.
therefore, it's a breach of contract.
Number one, he registered in our auction, and people who register to bid in our auction are responsible for having read the terms and conditions of our sale.
Okay.
We didn't sell this in a store. It doesn't come with a guarantee, okay? All goods are sold as
Let me
is,
see the
where
term.
is, with all faults, and all sales are final. All auction items are available for bidder examination. Bidding signifies that you have examined an item either personally or through an authorized agent, or that you have elected not to examine an item. Buyer relies solely on his or her own expertise and judgment when bidding.
Okay.
As noted above,
Okay, you can
all
stop.
sales
Fine.
are final.
Do you have an off button? Press the off button, hand that to my bailiff, hand it over to me. What were you going to do? Hit my bailiff with you? I do not suggest playing Quienes Mas Macho with Douglas. What say you to this?
Actually, I didn't see that at the computer, but plus any place that they have to say the damages. Any place that you buy anything,
I want to see you. You're online right now, right? Like, in other words, you're an ongoing concern. That's like, if I went onto your website right now, I would see these terms and conditions.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I'm going to take a recess.
All rise.
So are auctions kind of dicier because you don't have a lot of time to analyze the item?
Yeah, I'd say yeah. And a lot of the times too with the auctions, you don't get to get up close to actually see it. So you can have a nice, outer look, and then everything inside can just be paper and crumpled up.
Plus, these auctioneers get you all emotional and worked up, right?
Yeah, and obviously there's no warranty for an auction, so.
Actually, that's not true. Sometimes there is, but a lot of times you're right, there isn't. Going inside the courtroom.
I wanted to take a second to make sure that this isn't just a typewritten piece of paper that they're feeding me like the other affidavit that doesn't even have a signature. I wanted to see that, in fact, those are the terms and conditions, and in fact, they are. So they specifically say that don't bid unless you've seen it, you're satisfied, and or you've sent an agent over to look at it because you're an hour and a half away. And if you don't do that, then it's considered that you are accepting it in the condition that you get it in. Those are the I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't bid. If I saw that, I would say, check please, and move on. But you did. You bid.
Now, when I went to the auction site,
and worse, your case is even worse because it's not as though, it's not just that. You then had a second opportunity to inspect it and not hand over a check. Yep. As it turns out, you didn't sign the check. Was that on purpose or no?
No, because I told you.
I don't think so either. I think it was an oversight, but it's going to be a very convenient oversight because you were unhappy with the quality of the thing. But why shouldn't I hold you to the same terms and conditions that you agreed to be held by?
Because they were rushing me out of the door.
Oh my gosh, these are like the people who I bought a car, but I bought it at night. I bought it at night, you couldn't see, it was really dark. Well, then why are you buying it?
It's a big carpet. I couldn't, I was by myself.
Then don't buy it. Then don't buy it. It's your rug. You got to pay for it. $585 verdict for the plaintiff.
Here comes the defendant. He lost this case because you bought an as-is rug. You just bought yourself a rug, sir.
I know.
How do you like your rug?
I don't like it because it's damaged. It is damaged. It's very run down, and there's a lot of tears on it. Tears and patches.
Why didn't you just take a couple of extra minutes and examine the merchandise before you took it from the place?
I know, because it's a big carpet. I couldn't be able to do it by myself. And they were rushing me out of the door. They said, "Oh, you're late, and we got to close the store."
So are you saying that you think you knew that they knew the rug was damaged? You think, and they tried to?
It is obvious that there is the patches you can see.
All right. What are you going to do with it now?
I'm going to throw it away.
Throw it away. All right. Hit it right around the corner. Okay, right this way. Okay, go ahead. All right. So come on in here. Did you know that rug had some damage on it?
We don't have time to look at everything. That's why we have the terms and conditions in our agreement, in the contract. It was worn. We knew it was worn. We photographed it. It could be that in the future we would photograph the back too, just to be sure. But nevertheless, he's in the trade. He knows what he's doing. Right. $500. It's a palisade rug.
He should have known, right?
It's no money. He didn't even, he stole it in the first place.
Okay. Oh, Harvey?
Okay, if somebody hands you a contract, that doesn't mean you have to sign it. You can always negotiate terms. And if you feel unprotected, you can't get what you feel you need to protect yourself, probably the best thing to do is walk away. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.